unbelievable and shocking. If only there had been some sort of warning signs that this guy was a bit of a weirdo that can't be trusted. I am truly disturbed.
Fortinite streamer Raul Zito, also known as a real name, Paulinho de Oliveira Maciel. I'm saying this with a Portuguese accent because I don't want to offend any of my Brazilian brothers. Has been charged with children. I think you understand what I'm trying. Very sophisticated censorship, I know. Now, I would like to highlight that little point there, that he has been charged but not trialed yet. I always seem to be the devil's advocate, but I'm not truly trying to defend him if he truly did this. This is not like an EDP case. You know, with EDP we had a video that was clear to see that the guy wasn't going for cupcakes, even though he seems like the kind of guy that would go for cupcakes. You see what I mean? Like his beard, his hair, haha, I understand all those jokes and I laugh with you, but don't jump the gun. And I see a lot of comments in Bob Black's videos, for example, and it's not his fault, of course, but a lot of people jumping the gun when we don't have full confirmation if this is true or not. These are purely allegations. We don't have videos. As far as I'm concerned, at least with today's video, as I'm recording this, there's no evidence, no concrete evidence that he actually did what is being alleged to do. However, there's always a however. If he did it, you deserve what the full extent of the law can give you. I really feel no sympathy towards that shit. Especially the way that he uses content that is usually made for children, Fortnite, right? To lure children. But that's the thing that I want to focus on. Even if he didn't do it, all right? This is nothing new. And I'm not gonna go basic and tell you that social media is bad and whatnot, because again, with EDP, the same thing happened. It's very clear that social media can be very detrimental to children. But that's not even the thing that I want to focus today. What I want to focus is a little bit on the double standards that we provide to children when it comes to labor laws. And if you don't know why I'm saying this, it's because his method involved promising children with positions in TV, because at least, I don't know if he truly had that influence, but he would tell them, hey, I can put you on a TV show if you do this kind of stuff, right? Working at the grocery store at 13 years of age, that's gross. That's breaking clear laws, man. Children shouldn't be working, whatnot. But as soon as we see them on the TV representing the roles that we love, all of a sudden it's doable. Even though they're missing school days, acting as a child can be extremely time demanding, as any actor would be. And obviously they're gonna miss a lot of childhood memories that you and me, we usually have. And I would like to talk that specifically. And this is not to blame the parents of this. Again, if you did it, just go fuck yourself, dude. I don't know a more elegant way to put this. It's just, honestly, we need to hold accountable people who think this is a good idea to do. If this is like, it seems like a moral thing to love anyone regardless of their age. Like, it's sickening, and I think you and me, we both agree he needs to go beyond bars if he actually did it. He is a true bad part in this. But recognizing that we don't live in the reality that we like to live, recognizing that we live in a society where show business is full of creeps, and yet we send off kids as if it was nothing. Again, working on a grocery or whatever, as our parents usually had. I don't know about you, but in this country, our parents had to work very early. Discussing today shouldn't be allowed. And I agree with that. Children should be, playing, studying, shit like that, building up their childhood. But it doesn't seem like we're going a little bit too fast for children when we put them on show business. And obviously, these wolves exist, right? And this is not irrational. He knows what he's doing. But I think a parent should also know what the fuck they're doing when they put a child at that danger. Again, should the world not exist like this, like the people like this shouldn't exist, and it would be all good and dandy, that we didn't have any predators or whatever, it would be amazing, but that's not the reality. And when people see danger and they still go like, you know what, I'm gonna run towards it, and they feel like surprised when shit happens, it's hard for me to feel bad for you. Now, I truly feel bad for children because they're children. They don't have that responsibility on their decisions. But parents, you have full responsibility of what happens to your kid. Again, I'm not going to make you responsible for the atrocious act that this guy committed, but I am going to blame you a little bit when you decide that this is a good idea for your child to pursue a career so early in show business. An extremely mature business, by the way. And again, completely anti-children, if you ask me. Dance Moms was a show that completely disgusted me to a core. Not to mention the double standards we had when that, lady kissed a girl and no one batted an eye, apparently. Like, our mothers watched that show and they don't find any issue with that shit. But if you flip the roles, if it was a man kissing a young girl like that, we're not going to discuss how disgusting these shows can be. how much pressure they put into those little children, and shouldn't even be legally, let alone broadcast. And what I find interesting is that I even see this in animated shows. Not the actual practice, but the discussion of it. I recently watched BoJack Horseman on Netflix. I don't know if you watched it. Would totally recommend if you have Netflix. And there's a character, Sarah Lynn, that exactly shows how terrible this kind of show business can be to children, how rotten children will become. And this seems like a basic thing to say, but people really don't recognize the double standards that we draw. That we are instantly so weird that in a grocery store, a 12-year-old working, a 13-year-old shaking ass on, as you saw with the cuties case. People had an issue with that, but you don't need cuties to go that far. But all of a sudden, like dance moms, for example, a lot of people don't know what the fuck is dance moms at all, but they know what cuties is, even though they are equally disgusting, if not dance moms even worse. And like I was saying, Sarah Lynn is this character that as a child lacked any kind of supporting roles, you know, as any kind of like actually good parenting. Her mother was there, her mother didn't hate her, but by ignorance it affected her daughter to a point where she OD'd, right, when she became older, because she thought that in order for you to be relevant in show business, you gotta sell your soul, which you kind of do. And we have a lot of examples of that happening in the real world. This show based itself on the reality that we have today. So I would just like for people to be a little bit cautious about that, but also ask the correct questions sometimes. Is it really just him? Couldn't it be that there's other people that could have easily changed this outcome, but they decided to ignore the fucking clear red flag? As a lot of people are saying, like, oh, the beard is a red flag, the kind of content that he does, and all this, like, oh, I'm such a progressive person, when he really wasn't. You saw those red flags. Why didn't the parents do that? Like, it's just really weird for me to allow a child with the contact of, like, even adults in general. What would you usually tell kids, right? Don't mess with strangers. But here, they gotta ignore that if they want to be in show business. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. All right, if you like this video, please, the algorithm likes that, and subscribe if you like this kind of like sensitive topics and shit like that I like to discuss. I really do. And thank you for watching. See you next time.